Since October of last year, I, along with so many activists, have been trying to ring the alarm to let Americans know that Israel is looking to start an all-out regional war where they are looking to drag the U.S. into. Israel is not only committing a genocide in Palestine, but they have recently began a war and genocide in Lebanon. And these are the headlines from this week in the U.S. U.S. is sending more troops to the Middle East as violence rises between Israel and Hezbollah. Pentagon to send more U.S. troops to Middle East as tensions rise. Press secretary declined to say exactly how many troops were deploying, citing operational security. Not only does Israel receive billions of U.S. taxpayer dollars, but they also receive trillions in U.S. weapons. And for them to actually win against the resistance in the Middle East, they need U.S. troops because their army is losing. Numbers of Israeli disabled soldiers exceed 70,000 since October 7th. And these numbers are not even accurate. Also, this was 3 months ago. These numbers are not accurate because the Israeli military is not being honest about how many, Israeli soldiers have died in Gaza and how many Israeli soldiers have come back disabled from the ongoing genocide in Gaza. Israel does not have a powerful army. When I was in Israel, I would see Israeli soldiers bully and pick on old people and kids. That's what they do. They are not trained to actually be in combat. And that is why they're losing, okay? That is why they cannot win against the resistance in Gaza. They've trapped people, starved them, had a full-on genocide in Gaza. Do you understand how small Gaza is? The fact that after a year they cannot win, that they cannot take out the resistance in Gaza, it is a clear notion that this is not a powerful army. And this is why Israel is trying to have a full-on regional war where they know that they can guarantee U.S. troops. They need U.S. troops to win, to not only win, but to take all of the Middle East, okay? I need you guys to understand that Israel is not only looking to take Palestine, they are looking to take Syria and Lebanon and Jordan and Egypt and Saudi Arabia. Like, this is a country that will not stop because it is a colonial settler state. And the U.S. is willing to go down with Israel. Both of the U.S. presidential candidates, Republican and Democrat, are pledging their allegiance to Israel. And I need you as an American to understand what this means, because I don't know if you know, but people are not enlisting in the U.S. Army anymore. Enlistments for the U.S. Army is at its all-time decline in its history. So if no one is joining the army, what do you think this means if America is going to go to war? What do you think that means for you? I think that what we need to understand is that there is no international law that is going to protect us as people, because what we have seen is that Israel and the U.S. are above international law. Israel literally intercepted people's pagers and blew them up in Lebanon. And no U.S. media even made a headline about it. Do you understand how crazy that is? There wasn't even a slight ripple effect in the media because of that. That is insane. And right now, the U.S. government is quietly sending U.S. troops to the Middle East. You can no longer ignore what is happening in Palestine, because it is going to end up at your doorstep. This war is coming to you, whether you want to ignore it or not. What's happening in the Middle East, what's happening in Palestine is all of our problems.